Hey, vinyl community. We are here once again with my three favorite friends from the vinyl community. Chris Propfe from Chris Propfe's Musically Obsessed, who, by the way, just happens to be celebrating 1,000 subs. So we're having a little party here for him. We also have Aaron Mutha Alamare, everybody's best friend in the VC. And we have Josh from JC Flipside Vinyl with us once again. And we are here to talk about Wham, George Michael, Andrew Ridgeley. We're going to do our top 10 Wham songs. Actually, absolutely not. If you know me, you know I'm full of crap. We are here to talk about Kiss, which is very timely, actually, because if you've seen Chris's channel, you know, he's having a contest right now, a Kiss themed contest. And we've all, each of us individually, done entries to that contest, but we have not disclosed our favorite songs because we all knew we were doing this episode tonight where we were going to go through our top 10 Kiss songs, and we have 5 honorable mentions, or in Aaron's case 65 honorable mentions.
Look at that list.
He is not fooling around. He is dead.
Love it.
So, but I don't think it's any exaggeration to say that Kiss is one of our favorite bands from way back. And it's a joy to talk about because they've got such an extensive catalog. And the bands that we've covered before, Deep Purple and Black Sabbath, they've certainly had different eras. But with Kiss, I mean, it's so you've got the makeup era, and then the non-makeup era, and then the reunion era, and then the era, you know, beyond that. So such I mean, what are we talking? Kiss was, you know, their first album came out in 74. So, yeah. I mean, how many years are we into now? At least, what, 40-some years of Kiss?
46.
Yeah, so definitely a long period of time, a lot of albums, but we did our best to come up with our top 10, like I say, 5 cheat picks. So I thought what we do is, like we always start out doing, is just kind of go around and talk about, you know, got us into Kiss in the first place. And then a second question would be, where does Kiss rank in terms of your favorite bands? Are they your favorite band, or are they top 5? Are they top 10? Where would you rank them in terms of your favorite artists? So let's start with you, Josh.
So I discovered Kiss in the late 70s, early 80s, flipping through my dad's album collection, and I came across this album right here, Kiss Alive, and I asked my dad to play it and instantly fell in love with them. And then I was searching through his 7-inches, and I found a 7-inch of Detroit Rock City and Beth, and I played that to death. And then as soon as I got money, I went out and started to buy their albums. So huge Kiss fan from a very early age. In terms of are they my favorite band or where do they rank, I will tell you that for the majority of my life, they were very close to the top, if not number 1. I would say lately they're still in the top 10, but they're not in the first place. And probably there's a little, I'm one of those people that just wishes, I no ill will against the current lineup, but I really wish they had ended it with Peter and Ace. That's just my own personal opinion. I know that the newer albums are still good, but there's still a little piece of me that just wishes they had gone out with Ace and Peter, you know, but it is what it is. But before I pass it over, I do want to say congratulations also to Aaron for hitting 400 subscribers. So congratulations to Chris and congratulations to Aaron. Both had spectacular weeks. So thanks, man.
It's a big day.
I might need another beer.
Yeah.
I got some cold gin. We could do shots.
Oh, wait. Oh, I get it. Okay.
All right, Chris, I think you're next.
You know, like Josh, I think the first album that I saw was Alive. I was over at a friend's house and an older brother had it, and I, you know, of course you're hit with the makeup and that front cover, which is amazing. And I'm like, who are these guys? And of course, started seeing the videos on MTV, and I didn't really even know about their 70s stuff. And then I started buying some of their early cassettes and falling in love with the 70s music, which had a totally different vibe than what I was listening to, like, you know, the 80s, like Tears Are Falling and Heaven's on Fire and all that kind of stuff. So then I just started digging back, and became just a favorite band of mine, and I would probably say they are still a top 5 band for me when we're talking like, hard rock, heavy metal.
Okay. All right, Aaron, how about you?
Well, I discovered Kiss. I knew about them in the 70s. Growing up, I saw the Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, had my face painted up like Peter Criss in 6th grade or 5th grade or something in grade school. And I knew a few of their songs, but it wasn't until about 85 where I really got into them, 85, 86. And then I became obsessed with them, and they became my favorite band at that point. And they remained my favorite band for about 20 years until I discovered Clutch. And for the last few years, it's been Clutch, but Kiss is my second favorite band. So I'm a huge Kiss fan. It's just, I love the 80s, the 70s, beyond. I like it all. So, yeah, I really fell in love with them in the heavy metal phase in the 80s, though.
I agree with that completely. That was like the honey spot for me. Like just, all those albums in the 80s, they were like my favorite albums.
Do any of us have Kiss tattoos?
Surprisingly, I do not.
No, I don't either.
We can do that.
Jeff?
We can fix this.
Jeff has one on the back of his neck.
The tramp stamp. You get a tramp stamp too of Peter Criss' face without the makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very aware
Holy
of
the cat.
Kiss. I was very aware of Kiss growing up. I grew up in the 70s. I was born in 1970. And so when I was in grade school, I knew a lot about Kiss. I remember when the solo albums came out, going into, the store like Kmart or something, which is a local, just kind of a bargain retailer here in Michigan, and seeing those 4 solo albums being like, wow, this band's so popular, they can put out 4 albums at once. And I remember, Kiss Meets Phantom of the Park being on television, and Kiss being on the Paul Lynde Halloween special, back in the day. But like, there's no way my parents would never have let me buy a Kiss album or own a Kiss album back in the day. So I got into them relatively late. And actually what got me into them is I got this book. It's Kiss and Sell. And I was reading about it, and I was kind of like, I know a little bit about Kiss, but I started reading a little bit more about Kiss. And the first album that I ever actually got into was The Elder, Music from the Elder, because I read about it in that book, and it just sounded so interesting, the fact that they recorded this album with a concept. They totally went off brand in order to do this elaborate, serious themed concept album, and basically commercially fell flat on their face. And that kind of precipitated somewhat of a decline in Kiss's popularity after the market had been oversaturated with Kiss from like 79, 78, 79, in the kind of the wake of the solo albums and that tour. But that was really kind of strangely my gateway, because I thought, I got to hear this album, because I'd heard Kiss before, but I'd never heard The Elder. And I heard The Elder, and it just really got me interested more in Kiss. And so I started revisiting a lot of their catalog and, buying more of their music and whatnot. But anyway, let's get into our 5 honorable mentions. And like we do, we'll start with you, Josh. Hopefully you've got 5.
Yeah, I only got 5, which was difficult. It was extremely difficult. I almost pulled an Aaron. All right, so my number 15 would be Creatures of the Night. I absolutely love that song. Number 14, Shout It Out Loud. Number 13, Rock Bottom. Number 12, Tears Are Falling, which I love that song. And number 11, Love Gun. Those are my 5 honorable mentions. I'd also like to say that there's a documentary called Kiss Exposed. It came out around the time of Revenge. And that, I wish that documentary could have made my list, because I converted more people that said they hated Kiss by watching that documentary to show them not only the dynamic of their catalog, but just their personalities. I really felt like, so if I could do an honorable mention, Kiss VHS Exposed.
Love it.
Yeah. All right, no, those are all good songs. At least one of them's on my list. So,
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. As we go through these lists, what I find is, Chris will give a couple songs, or Aaron or Josh, and I'll be like, oh my God, how did I leave that off my list? That's such a great song. I know that's going to happen again, like we've done in previous episodes. But Chris, your honorable mentions.
Well, Josh said Rock Bottom. I'm like, crap, I should have included that in here.
It's
All
killer.
right, so my number 15 is Dirty Livin' off of Dynasty. Peter Criss singing that song. Love that song. 14 is Rise to It, off Hot in the Shade. 13, Two Sides of the Coin, the Ace song off of Unmasked. Always loved that song. I wish I could have put these in the top 10. It's killing me. Number 12. Sorry, I'm trying to count down here. I had one beer. Psycho Circus, number 12, the title track. That is an underrated song. Really, really good song. And then track 11, you guys are going to kill me with this one. Black Diamond didn't make the top 10. I know.
There's so many. It's hard.
Black Diamond did not make the top 10, but Shandy did.
Great.
I'm done.
Dude, seriously. Yeah, but okay, so Josh, seriously, dude. Put Love Gun in the top 10.
Yeah, I know. I totally get it. I totally get it. This list is way too hard, guys. You could have told
Love
me.
Guns out here somewhere.
I know. I'm looking at this now. I'm going like I'm gonna lose 100 subscribers tonight.
No, dude, that's your 5 were excellent. I love all those songs.
Thank you.
All right, Aaron, we got a half hour for your honorable mentions. So
I knocked it down to 5, but I have 2 other ones I want to mention. So I knocked it down to 7 instead of this. So number 15 from this record, Seduction of the Innocent.
Wow.
Love that song. At number 14 from Love Gun, Almost Human.
Interesting.
Number 13 from Look
Shandy.
It Up, A Million to One.
That's a great one.
That's a good.
My
I almost
favorite
put that.
ballad.
Yeah. Good song.
And at number 12 from Revenge, I've got Heart of Chrome. Love the double singing on the chorus on that. And yeah. And at number 11 from Dress to Kill, Come On and Love Me. Just about made my top 10. So I just want to mention 2 other ones. And I couldn't make this list without putting one live song. 100,000 Years is just so special on this. I had to at least mention it, even though that isn't one of my top 10 songs. But on this,
Is
it's
this
maybe
11A then? Is this considered?
Yes, and I have an 11B. And 11B comes from Kiss Exposed. It's
Wait a second. You see how Aaron now it's now come to 17, 18.
Well, that's it.
give
I
him an
promise.
inch and he'll take a mile.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I just had just the live version of Detroit Rock City from Kiss Exposed is the best version of that song. How Paul Stanley sings that. It's totally different, and it's my favorite version of that song. And if that was on the record, it would have been my top 5 of songs. But it just barely missed the cut. But I wanted to mention how great that version from 1980, the Australian Unmasked tour, had Eric Carr on the drums. And if you never heard that, check it out. Paul Stanley sings it way different, and it's amazing. So, but I'm done now.
And I would just like to say for everyone watching, for all my picks, you can go with the live version. The live versions are better.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, let's put live in quotes.
Live in quotes.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say too, I only have 2 Kiss on vinyl. I feel like I shouldn't even be here with Aaron and Josh with all of their records.
Well,
everything else is on CD for me. So
Chris, when's your birthday?
Fine.
well, can I say it's tomorrow?
No.
It's in October.
Oh. All right. Well, in October, you'll have more Kiss vinyl.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah. I will send you a present.
Oh, cool.
Before we begin, though, and I know I kidded about this in my contest entry, and Chris kind of kidded about it a little bit, but Shandy is just want to say a word about Shandy. Okay, that is a well-crafted song.
Yeah.
Maybe not a good Kiss song, but I'm telling you, if the Doobie Brothers in their Michael McDonald Minute by Minute era had covered that track, that might have been a solid top 40 track. It's not a great, maybe not a great track for Kiss to cover, but it's got a hook. It's a solid song. And I know Kiss fans hate on it, and it's kind of the running joke, but I like Shandy. It's not in my honorable mention or my top 10, but that I maintain is a damn good song.
Jeff, it's
I love
Kiss-
Shandy too.
That was Kiss's biggest hit in Australia.
Yep.
Was Shandy.
Mhm.
Yep.
I love it.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's not in
And
my
listen,
top 10.
dude,
You like it a lot.
if you're
Yeah.
gonna sit down with your wife or your girlfriend or your lady friend, sit on the couch, you're not gonna put Parasite on. You know,
Well, maybe.
I have, but that's why I've been single.
you're gonna
so
throw Shandy on.
That's right.
Come here,
If I wanted
sweetheart.
to get my mom into Kiss,
Shandy.
but yeah.
I met a girl once that told me, she goes, my favorite Kiss album is Unmasked. I said, oh, that's cool. Saying like, asking her like, why is that your favorite? And she goes, well, my father, before he left me, he gave me that album. Her father abandoned her as a child and gave her the album. I'm like, oh my God, that's a terrible story.
Well, wait, what do you have there, Aaron?
Looks like a Japanese pressing.
Oh, Jesus. Look at this. The 45 of Shandy.
Wow.
Aaron's got everything.
I'll tell you, man.
Love it.
All right. So my honorable mentions, Calling Dr. Love. Can I get any love for Doc? I'm sorry,
Good song.
is a good track. I love the harmonies on the chorus. I think it is a perfectly crafted pop rock track, and I am not apologizing for putting that in my honorable mentions. X-Ray Eyes from Dynasty.
Nice.
Dynasty album. I think X-Ray Eyes is a very underrated, overlooked album. Falls at the end of the album, so it gets overlooked a little bit. I'm putting Stutter, the 78 version off Double Platinum, in my honorable mentions. Tears Are Falling, which is also on Josh's list. I love that one. And Not for the Innocent off Lick It Up.
Heavy.
Out my
Great.
honorable mentions.
Nice.
Great list.
Yeah, I think,
All right.
there hasn't been too much overlap, really, hardly any. So I think that just shows what a great body of work Kiss has. The fact that you can pull so many great songs that everybody's in agreement with, like that is great. I feel bad for leaving that off my list, but so we're going to get into our number 10, and we're going to go in the same order that we did our honorable mentions. So Josh, what is your number 10?
Off Love Gun, it's going to be I Stole Your Love. I just absolutely love this song. It's like, I love the tempo of the song, and it kicks ass live. Like Aaron said, go seek out the live versions of these songs. But I Stole Your Love, I just think it's just a kick ass song, and it's really heavy and it's really fast for a 70s Kiss song.
Love that.
That's my favorite Kiss album.
Nice. Yeah, I saw that.
All right. Well, my number 10 is off of Creatures, and it's War Machine.
Yes.
Riff on that song. It's heavy. I mean, Kiss came back with a vengeance on this album. And, I've been watching all the videos that people have been doing for my contest, and a lot of people are mentioning that this is either their favorite album by Kiss or the heaviest. And I would have to agree, one of the heaviest of theirs. And that song, War Machine, and it ends the album too. It's just a killer track. Gene does a great job on vocals too. And it's one of those songs you want to hear live as well.
Yes, totally.
No. It's just great.
Some of the best songs had war in the title. If you think about, Black Sabbath, War Pigs and
Slayer, War Ensemble.
Oh my God, it's a great song.
yeah.
Love it.
So my number 10 is off this record, and we were just talking about it. It's Black Diamond. Love Black Diamond. I love how Paul Stanley sings, and then Peter Criss, and then goes back to Paul Stanley at the end. And it's just an amazing song. One of my favorites, of course. It's number 10. I love it.
I should have switched mine. I should have made Black Diamond 10 and War Machine 11. Damn it.
The War
They're
Machine.
both great.
Can we
And I can't
rewind?
Yeah, the War Machine is a great one.
Well, my number 10 is also off Creatures of the Night, but I'm going with Saint and Sinner. Love that one. Just such a, like you say, this really was a rebound for Kiss after, they've been kind of like, okay, Dynasty was, a little bit of a soft side of Kiss, and then Unmasked was a step further in that direction, and then The Elder, a lot of fans of Kiss, that was just, kind of the final straw. But they definitely rebounded with Creatures of the Night, and I love that track. And a lot of it comes down to the drumming of Eric Carr. The drumming on that album is so fantastic, and Eric Carr just beats the hell out of those drums. And it's so interesting to hear him in contrast to Peter Criss. I'm not going to compare the two, but just the drumming on that album is so, up in the mix and so fantastic.
And you know what? Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
I'm done. I just want to shoot that in there. He's my favorite drummer of all time. Eric Carr. I've always been a fanatic of him.
Yeah, what I want to say was Eric Carr is absolutely amazing. But what I love about that Saint and Sinner song is it, not that it sounds like a Beatles song, but you could tell the Beatles influence on Gene Simmons. Like, the Kiss has harmony. They have hooks that go together. You're a saint, you're a sinner. It's like, it flows. And there's so many modern bands that you listen to that don't have that flow. And I really think that the Beatles influenced Kiss so much. You could see that sometime come out, even in their heavier music. And Saint and Sinner, it would have definitely been in my top 20. That's such a fabulous choice.
And that track too, that reminds me a little bit of Alice Cooper, especially like in the chorus. It's almost got kind of like a Schools Out sort of a, flavor riff to it. But that song reminds me a little bit of Alice Cooper too. So I think definitely they were pulling a lot of influences from different styles and different bands.
Yeah, and sort of to piggyback on what you guys are saying, that's what's great about Kiss is you can get a song like Parasite or War Machine, which is so freaking heavy, and then you get like Hard Luck Woman and Beth, and then you get some of the sort of orchestrated, concept stuff from Destroyer. You get a little disco. I mean, Kiss, kind of like a pop sheen sort of song. So they kind of did everything. Instrumentals. So
The hard rock.
Yeah, the Hard Rock Beatles. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 9.
All right. So first up, I want to say that I hate the production on this album. What I hate about it is it sounds like Ace Frehley's guitar sometimes is behind a wall. Like it's so muddled to me. So go listen to the live version. But my number 9 is Watching You. And I love the guitar riff on the song. It sounds so much better when you hear it on live. I love the chorus. You don't really know. And it just kicks ass. And the guitar riff is just so killer. And as soon as it comes on, like I listen to all of these albums over the last week, just trying to cram them in every minute. And this is just one of those songs that as soon as it was done, I hit rewind, I listen to it again. I just hit like the back button in my car. It's just killer. Watching You by Kiss. Go listen to it, a live version, not the Harder Than Hell version.
Great choice.
One of their heavy songs.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said this in one of the Kiss videos, but I have the Kissology DVDs, and I tell you, you watch those early performances of Kiss perform live, nobody could touch them. They would just destroy you live. I mean, they just had so much energy, and there was nobody like Kiss. And yeah, that's kind of going along with what you said, Josh. The live versions are just killer.
Yep.
All right. Well, what are we doing? Number 9 now?
Yep.
It's off my favorite Kiss album, and I'm going with the title track, Love Gun. I just think, Paul Stanley singing Love Gun. I mean, you can't get much better than that. It just is, it's quintessential Kiss, the lyrics, everything about it, his vocal delivery. What I think was great about Paul is that I read that a lot of times when he demoed his songs, they didn't differ much from when they actually recorded them for the albums. Like his demos were so good and he had them so realized in the demos, just with the leads and everything, that when it came time to record it, the demos didn't really differ too much from the studio recordings. So that shows you Paul had that vision of what he wanted things to sound like. And that's why he's underrated as a songwriter, guitarist, singer. I mean, that guy he's very talented.
Yeah, it's sort of like Pete Townsend. Pete Townsend would have these demos and it would be like, all right, this is how it's going to sound. And John, you're going to play it this way. And Keith, this is how your drumming is going to be, but yeah, Paul Stanley is almost like a Pete Townsend of the 70s and 80s, just a great songwriter. And some of my favorite Kiss tracks are obviously Paul's songs,
and he has such a unique voice. Like I was watching a couple of the videos today from the contest, and in the background, some people had Kiss playing, and Paul Stanley's voice just rises above everything. He has this it's just a timbre in his voice, and just the way he sings is just very unique, and it was perfect for live music and radio.
mm-hmm.
Very hard to duplicate his voice. No one can really sound like him.
No, he sounds, and dude, he was in the Phantom of the Opera in a Canadian version of that show. I don't know if you guys know that. He likes to sing Broadway as well. Yeah, he can do a lot with his voice.
All right, Aaron.
So there's a reason this is my number 9. It's from this album. It's Tears Are Falling. It's the song that made me really fall in love with Kiss and became my favorite band after that song. And I just love the riff, Paul's singing. And even in the video, when Bruce Kulick does that thing where he does the guitar, he goes like down and then up and then down. It's just like, it killed me every time I see it. Love that. And I just love that song. The lyrics are amazing. And every time I hear it, like the hairs on my arm stand up still. I love every song on this record, but for some reason, that's the one that really got me to be for Kiss to be my favorite band. So that's why it's my number 9.
That's 3 of us so far that have it on our list. So that just shows how cool it is.
And that's a heavy album, Aaron. That album is definitely heavy.
I think Creatures of the Night, Asylum, and Carnival of Souls are the 3 heaviest.
Yeah, I would agree.
For all the way through records, to me.
Well, I want to tell you the power of that song. I was listening to that song in the car the other day with my daughter. She's 16. She'll be 16. She's like, Dad, is this Kiss? I'm like, yeah. It was Tears Are Falling was playing. She's like, I love this song. And I mean, what year did that freaking come out?
1980.
So 1980 something. So here's a 16-year-old.
85.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a 16-year-old in 2021 who's like, Dad, that song is so good. Just shows you again, Paul Stanley could write a freaking good song.
Well, and a timeless song too. That's the thing of great songs. They stand the test of time, and that's one of them. It sounds as fresh today as it did back in the 80s.
That was a huge hit. Huge. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, my number 9, I'm going to go with She off of Dress to Kill. Love that track. It's just such a sleazy rocker. It's got a great riff, but it's so catchy. I like this album a lot. I know the first 3 Kiss albums, and Chris, you, Aaron, and a couple others did an episode about that, but I like this album a lot. Not my favorite, but I think there's so many great tracks on it, and She is just one of them. I've got another Dress to Kill on my list, which I won't reveal yet, but I love that album a lot. And that song a lot.
Great one.
Yeah.
I may have multiple Dress to Kill,
I might have,
including my next one. So is it my turn?
Yep, number 8.
Off Dress to Kill, Watching You. Absolutely love that song. Not Watching. I'm sorry. Come On and Love Me. I just did Watch.
There we go.
I was going to say, I thought you did watch it.
I was like, wait, do I have a different version?
Yeah. Come On and Love Me. I'm mixing up my list.
Amazing.
So I love Come On and Love Me. I love when it just kind of bottoms out. The song bottoms out, and then the vocals come in and it's like, come on and love me. I mean, it's just so killer. I just love the early Kiss. Even those first 3 Kiss albums kill me every time. So yeah, Come On and Love Me. That's my next.
I love the lyrics to that. You're a Capricorn and she's a Cancer and all that. That's just, only Paul Stanley can sing that.
Yeah.
Well, Sebastian Bach did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that was a good version too.
I saw Sebastian Bach live open for Twisted Sister.
I saw him
Oh,
open
was-
for Guns.
Yeah. All right. Well, my number 8 is going to be controversial, but you guys know I'm always going to throw something controversial in there. It's not Shandy, even though I. All right. Off of Dynasty, which is another favorite album of mine, I'm going Magic Touch. No, like that's going to ruffle a few feathers. I just love that song. I love the bass in that song. The guitar work is great. And again, Paul Stanley sings the hell out of that song. It's just always been a favorite. I love the chorus of it. Yeah, I love the tune.
Dynasty is my favorite Kiss album. I will go on record as saying I love that album from start to finish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I even love the 2 disco songs on that album. I really do. Like, I have no problem with "I Was Made for Loving You." I know Gene Simmons hates it, and I really love the other disco song. The
Sure know something.
Sure
Know
know
Something.
something.
But
is
both of
great.
those songs.
Amazing
Yeah.
bass, something.
Yeah, the bass. Well, I put Dirty Living as my number 15, and that sort of kind of has a disco feel to it as well.
Yeah.
So,
And I Was Made for Loving You live is way different sound. It's like kind of heavy too, especially when Eric Carr was playing drums on it. Gave it a really heavy edge to it, and it was really cool sounding too. I like that.
I love the cover of that too. It's so killer.
It's killer.
Well, and I never realized that was actually a composite of 4 different pictures of Kiss. That's a really expensive album cover that it took to shoot, apparently. But anyway, I don't know. That's what I read.
Yeah, you know what? I make stuff up all the time. So
Yeah.
Billy Joel was a punk artist.
Yeah. Well,
He was hardcore.
Well, wait, when you were flipping through the record, records the other day, Billy Joel was in the punk section.
Glass
I rest
Houses.
my case. I rest my case.
There you go. Yeah, what was that album?
Glass Houses.
Glass
Glass
Houses.
Yeah,
Dude, your
that's
videos.
a punk.
They just.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's
think
like
he
watching
covered a
punk.
couple Sex Pistols songs on that album.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they didn't have any men at work. I was bummed about that. That would have made a
Yeah.
better one. But anyway. Okay, Chris, you're number 8.
I already did Magic Touch.
Oh,
Okay,
all right.
me then.
Yeah, I'm just talking, so you forgot.
Okay. So we get sidetracked. I'm drinking. We get sidetracked and we go off the rails. All right, Aaron, you're number 5.
Number 8. Number 8, the amazing Parasite. The guitar riff from Ace, one of the best riffs in all of heavy metal, hard rock, whatever you want to call it. The lyrics, she'll always be there trying to grab a hold. It's just an amazing song. I love Parasite. I even hear it on the radio occasionally, and I crank it up. And I don't mind. I get what you are saying about the production of this record, but I still love listening to Hotter Than Hell. It's the songs in here, some of the best they ever did. It's just
One thing I've always wondered about that album cover, what the hell is Peter wearing? Are those like assless chaps? What has he got on? Like that always puzzled me.
It's a weird cover because half of Ace's face was airbrushed on because he had just gotten a car wreck before they took the picture, like less than a week before that. So actually half of his face is not even real. But
Wow.
yeah, that is Peter's. It's a little weird for the cover, but yeah, but it's just so good. And the back is killer too. I love this picture.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron,
Stanley's like groping him.
Yeah. Aaron, you are right that the album is amazing. Like the songs are absolutely amazing on that album. I just prefer the versions on Kiss Alive.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Parasite, number 8.
All right. My number 8, and I know I feel like I have to defend several of my Kiss choices, but I am going with Naked City off of Unmasked.
Nice.
And what's interesting to me is during the verses, it sounds like a slowed down version of Roxanne.
Okay.
You listen to it, it's like that, which is just like if you sped it up a little bit, that's Roxanne. Like that is a catchy Roxanne riff. But I love this album. I did an episode on it because I wanted to stand up for it. But Naked City is one of my favorite tracks on this album, and I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but it gets, kind of a bad rap from most hardcore Kiss fans, but I love it, and I'm not ashamed to say so.
I love this record. I need it on vinyl, and I will get it.
It comes with a poster too. When you find it, yeah.
Cool
I'm
poster.
hanging it in my apartment.
It comes with a really cool poster.
I've never been able
I
to.
was listening to Shandy, and I was crying on my couch.
I love Shandy.
Yeah. I mean, I really like the album. I mean, Kiss didn't tour on the album. They were just in a weird state. And I think that, so many children had started listening to Kiss in the late 70s. A lot of the hardcore fans jumped ship. But most of those fans came back, especially during the 80s.
Yeah.
They did actually tour in Australia for it. And that was where that Detroit Rock City from Exposed comes from.
Yeah.
They had Eric Carr on the drums. It was his first stint with them. So
That's a fun record, though.
Yeah.
I love Is That You? I mean, there's some great songs on here. They're all good. I like the Ace ones.
Did anybody put She's So European on their top 10?
No.
Okay. Wait, I need to get an eraser.
All right, we're on number 7 now. So
I'm gonna go with Black Diamond. I just absolutely love that song. I love how it starts off so slow with Paul singing "Out on the Street." It's just so great. I mean, I absolutely love it, and it's I could see why Chris you left it off, but for me it's definitely on there. So.
Well, I'm going to say right now that was a mistake of mine. I should have put it at 10. But what are you going to do?
Right.
Once the list is written, you can't change it, right?
Exactly.
All right, I'm not going to beat this one to death, but my number 7 is Tears Are Falling.
All right.
Yeah, you know what? That was I have always loved that song. So
Is that the first one that's made all of our lists so far?
yeah,
I think so.
it's a grand slam.
it really is. Oh no.
And I don't know. I don't think any, whether it was our Black Sabbath or Deep Purple, I don't think we ever, all 4 of us had one song that made each of our lists. So that's.
Child and Time did.
Yeah,
I
but
think we had a few actually. Because we had all of In Rock and Fireball on there, so I think we did.
Okay.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. The gist of that video was that if you want Deep Purple, go buy In Rock and Fireball.
Yeah.
See, but I wasn't on that episode. I would have represented Burn, and then people would have to go by Burn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't really give a lot of love to Machine Head that night.
Yeah. No, not
That's
really.
Smoke on the Block. Highway Star.
I put Space Trucking on mine,
But we digress.
but
Chris, trying to reel us back in. Chris, you're number 7.
yeah, mine was Tears Are Falling. Remember?
Oh,
So my number 7.
I got to change the host on this video. Somebody else got to host these damn videos next time because I cannot keep it together for 90 minutes. Okay.
No, I apologize. I keep changing the subject, so I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah. All right. Aaron.
Number 7.
Then.
Rock Bottom. One of my favorites. I really love the guitar intro, the overdubbed guitar that Ace did on that. And it's one of the most beautiful guitar pieces in music, I think. It's just, no one pays attention to how great that is, that guitar that Ace does on that. And then it just hits you in the face when the music comes in. And it's just so catchy and it's high energy. Love the lyrics. And it's my number 7. So obviously I love it.
No, I'm glad that album's getting some love. Absolutely. I love that one. All right, my number 7 is going to be Shock Me off Love Gun. Great track. I love Ace Frehley. I forgot, just going through my list, I forgot how many Ace Frehley songs I adore. And Shock Me is one of them. I love it. I think it's a standout track on this album, which is a great track. A great album. And, it just shows you know, he was no slouch as a songwriter either. You know, we give all this
Right.
to Paul Stanley, but Ace Frehley definitely held his own in Kiss.
Well, and again, it was that song and his solo album that got him a chance to sing more stuff on Dynasty and Unmasked.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think Gene was pretty much done by that point. So
Right,
Yeah.
right. But even back, I mean, Cold Gin, he wrote that on the first album, and that's one of the best tracks on their debut also.
And Parasite and Strange Ways.
Parasite,
Yeah.
yeah. We could have done top 10 Ace songs, top 10 Paul songs, top 10 Gene songs. I could have easily done a list.
I got them all right here.
Yeah.
They're all on there.
All right, we're on number 6.
My number 6 is going to be I Still Love You off Creatures of the Night. I mean, Paul Stanley hits an ungodly high note. I absolutely love the unplugged version too. So if you haven't seen that, go watch that. But just a super powerful song. And it's a heavy album, but that song fits so well into it. I just absolutely love it. And I think it's one of Paul's best songs, lyrically and vocally. So.
nice. Well, my number 6, I think Aaron mentioned this off of Love Gun, Almost Human.
All right.
That is a hidden gem. It's I love the lyrics. I love Gene's delivery. The bass in that song is killer. It's got a different feel than some of the other Kiss songs, and I've always loved it. So, Almost Human. You had that, right, Aaron?
Yeah, it was my number 14. That made
Oh, it was
my
on
top.
your honorable mention. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great
Right.
song. I really love the breakdown, weird
Yeah, I love the weirdness.
backward vocals or whatever. It's on that. It's really cool.
All right, Chris, you're number 6.
I just said
Just
it.
kidding. I know. See. Just
Candy.
All right. My number 6 comes from Rock and Roll Over. It's Mr. Speed. My
That's a
favorite
good
song from this record. I love Mr. Speed, the guitar. It's like a totally unique Kiss song. There's no other song they ever did that sounded like it. And just the energy and Paul's vocals, the lyrics, just everything about it is great. I just love the guitar in it. So, Mr. Speed.
And I believe that album was recorded in an aircraft hangar, and I'm not kidding. I think it was. That gives that big bombastic sound that they got in the production too.
Yeah, it's such a great record. But yeah, Mr. Speed.
And I love that's like my 3 favorite album covers of Kiss of all time are Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun. I think just they were on such a great string of you know, we talk about the songs, but I think the artwork of Kiss albums too. I think Analyze is the only Kiss cover that I don't particularly care for, but you know, Rock and Roll Over, I've always loved the artwork on that album. All right, number 6 for me, I'm going to go to the Dynasty album, 2000 Man, the greatest, best Rolling Stones cover ever. I like this better than the Rolling Stones track. I think that if the Rolling Stones had recorded, this is the way the Rolling Stones should have recorded that track. The version on their Satanic Majesty Request is just kind of a little too psychedelic for me, but what they do with that track on here, I mean, you really, if you didn't know better, you'd think this was Paul Stanley wrote that track or Ace wrote that track. But I love it, and I think they brought new life to it. They reinterpreted it much the same way the Beatles like reinterpreted Twist and Shout. You know, owns 2000 Man from here on out. It's not a Rolling Stones song anymore. I'm sorry. It's a Kiss song, and they did it beautifully, and I love the hell out of it.
Yeah, that's when you know it's a good song. It's when it takes the place of the original.
Mhm.
And I'm going to derail again. Coming from a huge Joan Baez fan, Judas Priest does Diamonds and Rust better than Joan Baez does. And
I think Led Zeppelin does Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You better than Joan Baez also.
yeah, well, and Priest did Green Monalishi too. Wasn't that a Fleetwood Mac song?
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
They made that their own.
I never even knew that was a Fleetwood Mac song. I thought it was a Judas Priest song. So, oh, they're good covers.
Yeah.
Ace just brought attitude to that song too. That 2000 Man. It's just that Ace's attitude. he brought to it just made it.
Yeah.
I thought.
Mhm.
So another cover song that I feel is better than the original. Have you heard Sinead O'Connor do "Sacrifice," the Elton John song?
No.
So
No.
Elton John, that's kind of a poppy '80s ballady, but she slows it down to a crawl and sings it so quietly. It's so powerful. Sinead O'Connor's "Sacrifice," absolutely amazing. So that's another cover I think is better than the original. Go check it out.
So
Elton
this
John.
should be our next video. 10 covers that are better than the original.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
there you go.
I would love that.
I could do
All
it.
right, number 5.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys might hate me for this one, but I really love Domino. I love that song. I love the sophomoric subject matter where he's talking about banging a girl that's not old enough to vote. I mean, it's just like Gene being Gene, but it's so like the bass line, and those kind of corny but catchy lyrics. Got no reputation, haven't got a home. It's a sticky situation when she ain't old enough to vote. I just love it. When this song came out I think it was 92, right? I just graduated from high school. I was partying like every weekend. My friend had this cabin down by a lake, and this album was constantly on. And this song just invokes great memories for me. So Domino by Kiss. Now that I'm 46, the old enough to vote thing doesn't really, it's not as cool as when you're, 19.
What's funny? I never even knew that those were the lyrics. You're old enough to vote. Now it makes more sense. I'm like,
I still love the song. What are you saying, Aaron?
Domino. It's very similar to that riff. Is almost the exact same riff as the song "Nasty Nasty" by Black and Blue. If you listen to that song, that's a great song on a great album. But it's different. But the riff is almost identical. If you listen to that, that's pretty cool.
Right. I'll check it out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you really like my limousine. You like the way the wheels roll. You like my 7-inch leather heels. And going to all of the shows. But do you love me? 5, do you love me? Love that song. It's just Paul Stanley just saying to everybody, hey, this is who we are. This is who I am. And it's just a great song. It always gets me going. Do you love me? Yeah, Chris, lose me a little bit on here with, I like Great Expectations. They lose me a little bit though. I like Flaming Youth and Sweet Pain as well, but they kind of lose me a little bit there. But I mean, you can't go wrong with Shout It Out Loud, Do You Love Me, Beth, King of the Nighttime World, Detroit Rock City. But Do You Love Me is probably a standout track on here.
Well, I'm sure, it probably really, rang true for Kiss at the time because, these women would come backstage and they're like, look, I know you want to sleep with me, but I need to know, like, are you committed to me? I need to, like, are we in an exclusive relationship? Because I don't want this to go any further unless this is going to mean, especially Gene Simmons. I know he was very much into like monogamy. And
Right.
We're going to do this. I need to know that you are committed to me. Just going to be, I'm just not one of all these men that you're going to sleep with. So I think it's beautiful.
You want to hear funny? So Gene Simmons, there was some famous rock star and he was being interviewed on the radio and they said, well, tell us a Gene Simmons tour story. And he goes, yeah. Well, one night I'm in a hotel and I seen Gene Simmons go in the elevator with this gorgeous model. She was a famous model. And the next night I see Gene Simmons going in the same elevator with this kind of heavy set woman, nowhere near a model. And so I said to Gene the next night, I said, hey, 2 nights ago, I saw you with blankety blank, whatever the famous model is. He's like, yeah, it was great. And he goes, well, last night I saw you with this other girl. And he's like, yeah, it was great. And he's like, why did you sleep with that girl if the night before you had a model? And Gene Simmons goes, some nights you want steak, some nights you want McDonald's. And that was a real quote from Gene Simmons.
Dude, we are all losing subscribers after this.
Sorry, guys. I didn't say it.
Hey, no, I love it. I was just going to say that I think a lot of girls wanted them to keep their outfits on when they were fooling around too.
Sure.
But that's a great song, man. And I love the unplugged version of the song you picked too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I forget where we are. I don't know what number we're on. I don't know whose turn it is. I've completely lost.
Usually when it goes off the rails, it comes to me next at 5. I think. Is that right?
I don't know.
Did you just go 5, Chris, with Do You Love Me?
And I just keep seeing Jeff throwing beers back.
I'm gonna edit that out, by the way. All the I'm gonna edit that. So
Well, here's what I'm going to say too. Aaron's been on his best behavior. So at the end of this video, Aaron's going to be up to about 800 subs. Be back down to 600. And yeah, so all right. From here on out, I'm going to be on my best behavior.
okay, all right.
Zip it.
Was it me?
Yes, it's you, Aaron.
5, War Machine. One of the most heavy, greatest songs ever made by Kiss. I love it. The drumming, the riff, Gene Simmons singing in that is amazing, and it's just a masterpiece. And it's great live. And a lot of times live, that's when they set off the cannon for the tank on War Machine. Great song.
Great song.
Yep.
All right, number 5 for me. I'm gonna go back to Dress to Kill for Love Her All I Can. Sorry, that bass riff. And I think this was a Wicked Lester song that they re-recorded with Kiss, but damn, like that groove that they get into on there, I mean, you can't beat it. I'm sorry, it's a boogie rock track, and I could listen to this track over and over again. I think it's fantastic. I love it. Maybe it's ranked a little too high, I don't know, but I'm telling you, I love this. This is my favorite track off Dress to Kill. Yeah, again, if it's good enough for Anthrax, it's good enough for
They covered on this. Yeah.
yeah.
I just love how we're pulling out cassette singles.
This has been
All
our
right.
favorite episode so far.
What'd you say?
This has been my favorite episode so far. It's been quite
Yeah.
funny. All right, so my number 4, my favorite song off Dress to Kill, She. I just absolutely love this song. Great lyrics, great guitar riff, awesome song. Way ahead of its time, I feel like. A predecessor to a lot of the songs we got later on in the 70s and in the 80s.
Now, I think that was a Wicked Lester song as well.
Yeah.
I think.
There's actually another band before Wicked Lester did it. I forgot their name,
really?
but then then it was Wicked Lester.
I love that song. All right, my number 4 off the debut, Strutter. Love it. Classic Kiss. Never get tired of hearing that song. You know, we could probably all just put this in our top 10, even though I didn't put Black Diamond in my top 10. But every song on this album's killer. But Strutter, I mean, it's Kiss. It's just, you hear it and you're like, yes, that's Kiss. That's the sound of Kiss. So
Great one.
Good one.
Okay, my number 4 from this, Rocket Ride. Favorite
nice.
Ace song. Love Rocket Ride. That guitar is just amazing, and the solo and his lyrics are hilariously good, and just always one of my favorite Ace song. Love Rocket Ride. It's just high energy greatness.
That
I
song,
love those extra studio tracks on that album, like All American is on that, and
That was my number 16 actually. All American
Great
Mountain
song.
almost made it. That's one of my. I love that one too. Yeah, but yeah, it's just an amazing song.
no question.
and look at the picture of Gene on the front cover. My God, that is awesome.
That terrified me when I was little and I saw that at the record store. That totally creeped me out. I'm like, oh my God, he is a
Oh,
monster.
here's a better one.
Yeah,
There you go.
they have the blow up on the back of the cover for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I might talk about this in a minute, so I don't know.
All right, my number 4. I already mentioned Mr. Speed, but love that track. It's got a killer riff. It's almost boogie rock. I could almost see this as like a Black Arkansas kind of a Southern rock track, but I love it. I think it's a great track. I think it's another brilliant song that Paul Stanley wrote. But yeah, love it.
And both of ours, all right.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, number 3.
My number 3 is off the first album, and it's going to be Deuce. Absolutely love that song. I mean, I just remember being a kid and hearing him go, "Get up and get your grandma out of here." I could never think of like having the confidence to look at your woman and be like, get your grandmother out of here because it's time for us to get down. But Only Gene Simmons can pull it off.
And what was Grandma doing in the room anyways?
Exactly. Get Grandma out of here.
And who's old Jim?
You know what's funny is that I did have a girlfriend once that said that to me jokingly, you know, and it was like the greatest moment of my adolescence, you know, like, oh my God, she knows me. But yeah, Deuce is a killer song. And I believe it's the first song off Alive, right? If I could be mistaken, but it kicks ass.
Did you ever like wonder what that song title meant?
Yeah, well, I think I do know. Do you know what it means?
You're ready for a second round of it, right?
Yeah, that's what I was taught.
Oh, I thought he was trying to change it from a 4-letter word.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. This starts with an S. I thought that's what he was talking about. That he just changed the word from that to Deuce. If you listen to the lyrics, it kind of makes sense.
Well, we don't want to listen.
Where does Grandma fit into this whole thing? No,
Well, it's just saying you're worth it. It's,
yeah,
you know, listen to the lyrics, you know.
I love how we're like analyzing
Kiss
lyrics.
What
does he mean by get your grandma out of here?
This is how we lose all our subs.
Chris is now down to 300 subs.
I'm down to 0.5.
Yeah. So when Paul says
You're worth a deuce.
You really like my limousine, is that a metaphor?
I think she really does like that limousine.
All right. Well, again, it's to me, and I'm derailing, and I'm sorry. 3 for me. I'm going off of Crazy Nights. I'm going the song Crazy, Crazy Nights. I love this song. It's an anthem of the 80s. It just has a brightness to it. It's a fun song. I never got a chance to see them on this tour, but it would have been amazing. And this is a great album, but I mean, the first song, Crazy, Crazy Nights, just amazing, amazing, amazing. Love it. Paul sings the hell out of this too. Great cover too. Love that cover.
Yeah, I had a song that almost made it from this, but it wasn't that. But it was Hell or High Water from Crazy Nights.
I love Reason to Live too. That's a great.
That was great live.
Even Bang Bang You. I mean, I don't really even know what that song's about. I think we can probably figure it out. But
it's like Love Gun Part 2.
We should analyze those lyrics.
Yeah.
It's Love Gun Part 2. It's great.
Yeah.
Chris, you're right. That song Reason to Live. I remember being a kid and listening to it. And to me, like, you probably could have asked me what's your favorite Kiss song and that would have made it. You know, it was just so powerful. You know, and Paul's vocals are just fantastic on that.
And I'm looking, guess who the co-writer is? Desmond Child.
I was going to say, I knew it.
Reason to Live.
Desmond Child.
That guy, Desmond Child, my God, that guy, how many freaking songs did that guy write?
Yep. Go listen to Rat Detonator right there. I mean, he wrote songs with Aerosmith, Rat, Bon Jovi, you know, it's fantastic.
We could do a top 10 Desmond Child songs.
Yep.
Okay.
Is it me again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My number 3? No, you're good. I love it. So my number 3 from Dress to Kill is She. Like
yes. Yes. How many is that now?
It's a 3-letter word.
Okay.
3rd song. Just that groove, that bass groove that Gene gets into on that is amazing. And I just, whenever I like run into someone that hates Kiss, like my dad, for instance, I will put She on, not tell them who it is. Like, oh, this is pretty good. And it always fools them for a minute into liking Kiss. People that don't like it. It's my one I always use. I love She. It's just an amazing song. So there we go.
All right. Well, for me, as you may or may not know, I am from Michigan. I am just outside. I'm a suburb outside of Detroit. Gotta go, Detroit Rock City. Got to represent for number 3. I'm sorry, even if I hated that song, I got to work it in. But I will tell you, this was the theme song of the 1998 Detroit Red Wings. They played this at every single game, not only during the regular season, but the playoffs. This was their anthem. And fantastic track. Love it. It is so bombastic, but it's such an epic track. I know you've heard it 100 times. and it's probably been overplayed, but I do not care. Detroit Rock City, my lone representative from the Destroyer album in my top 10.
Amazing
Great
song.
Yeah.
All right. My number 2 is going to be off Hotter Than Hell. It's going to be Parasite. Absolutely love this song. You know, and it's funny because Anthrax covered this song, and Gene Simmons actually said he preferred the Anthrax version to his own, which I don't know how much I believe that, but I just think this song was a predecessor for what was to come. And the guitar riff is so killer. I do wish that the version on this sounded more like Alive. Like if you go listen to the vinyl on this, and they've tried to fix it in later pressings, but it sounds like that guitar riff is like muffled, and then the guitar really don't kick in until the solo. And that always bugged me because on Kiss Alive, the guitar riff was right up front. And if you listen to it on this, at least, it sounds like the riff is in the back until the solo happens. The vocals are prominent, but the guitar is not. And to me, the guitar riff is what really kills in that song. So, but Parasite, definitely my number 2.
Yeah, that album needs a remix.
Yeah, they've tried. I just think that it was recorded very quickly. You know, they wanted to put another album out. The first one didn't sell as well as they really wanted. Yeah, they do need to remix it though.
All right. My number 2, one of you mentioned, is off of Dress to Kill, Come On and Love Me. Love that song. Love the live version too. The lyrics are great. Like I mentioned before, she's a Capricorn and he's a Capricorn and she's a Cancer. But then the lyrics get a little cheesy, but Paul Stanley pulls it off. He's like, you were distant, now you're nearer. I can see your face inside the mirror. I mean, it's a little simple, but he sells it though. And it's just a great song. And yeah, I wish I had something really good to say about it. It's just a great song.
A rhyme like that, I mean, you think about it, like who thinks of a rhyme like that? You know, it's so perfect. It's not cheesy. It's not like love and of, or, you know, like in Strutter, they take that whole, you know, they actually borrow it from a Beatles track where they say, I forget the exact line. Oh, I know what it is. It's from the song Girl, where they say, it's understood she's looking good, which is actually from the Beatles song Girl. You know, by that point, now is like, God, you know, it's like I wish I would have rhymed like Clear and Mirror, even though it's so simple, but very clever.
Well, and I hate when people knock on Kiss. They're like, oh, their lyrics aren't deep or whatever. Well, they were never one of those bands. Kiss is a rock and roll band.
Well, they never pretended to be deep. They never pretended like, okay, we're into these philosophical topics and we're going to make you think.
And I'm going to tell you right now that Rush touring with Kiss just proves that Rush understood Kiss. They knew Kiss was not trying to be a prog band. They weren't trying to be the best musicians in the world. They were just a rock band. And I think Rush understood that, and I think that's why they had respect for him.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Stanley was quoted that, you know, Rolling Stone kept saying, don't listen to the new Kiss, go listen to Emerson, Lake and Palmer. He goes, nothing against Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Is like, but you go listen to Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Like, don't let people decide what they want to listen to. You know, don't say that your taste is what everyone's taste should be. They knew what they had going. They were influenced heavily by the Beatles. And they just wanted to have it a little bit heavier, and they wanted to have a stage spectacular show, and they accomplished that.
And this is the thing. This is nothing against prog because I love prog, but sometimes you don't want to listen to 2112. You want to listen to rock bottom. Like that's going to get you going. I mean, 2112, I love it. I can sit down, light a candle, drink a beer, and just disappear into that song. But sometimes you just need just a 3-minute rock song.
Yeah.
Well, Kiss was a full package because you got great songs, great albums, and then you go to see them live. You got fireworks, you got blood spitting, you got these characters dressed as comic book heroes on stage. I mean, and Gene has always said we wanted to be the Kiss that we always, you know, we wanted the band that we always, you know, wished we could have seen growing up. And they really looked like superheroes. They had their own comic book. They had great songs. songs. Visually, you couldn't take your eyes off them. I mean, the concert was, you forget about how crappy your life was for, 90 minutes. And that's all you can ask for in a band. I mean, they didn't have to be deep. They didn't have to make you, ponder the meaning of life. I mean, it was just like, here we are, we're going to entertain you. We got some great songs and let's just have fun. That's what it was always about. It was always about, let's have fun, tongue in cheek, totally. We're not going to take ourselves too seriously, but at the same time, we are serious about the fact that we're going to entertain you and we're going to be like no band you've ever seen before or that you ever will see. And that's a fantastic part about Kiss. There is no other band like them. You can't.
Well, I don't know. I would venture to say Thompson Twins were a little like them.
All right. Well, Thompson Twins accepted.
That'll be our next video.
I think that was their mantra, basically.
Maybe Pet Shop Boys, but yeah,
Right.
Okay.
And again, this is coming from a Thompson Twins fan. I mean, Jeff and I were geeking out one night. We started showing our Thompson Twins records. It's like, really? I'm like, I need to get that on vinyl. The Grail.
All right.
Sorry. I said I was going to stop, and I'm not stopping.
Here we go.
So am I up again?
Yeah.
I know. I'm always stealing Aaron's thunder.
No, you're good. What was your number 2 though? I forgot.
Shit, I forgot too. Come on and love me.
See, it's not just me. It's not just.
Or did you do that yet?
What?
I had done
Did
Come On.
you do
Love.
that?
I didn't do it yet. No, I hope not.
No, I had done it.
Yeah, Black Diamond was number 11 for me. Did I say that already?
Yeah.
I just want to go out of order. I didn't know if you went for your number 2
Yeah,
yet.
my number 2 was Come On and Love Me.
What band are we talking about?
I'm a Scorpio, not a Cancer.
That's right. Okay, so my number 2, Larger Than Life.
Bold pick.
It's always been my second favorite Kiss song. So when I was a teenager, my friend had a car and he had an 8-track player in it. And it only played track 3 from Alive 2. So it played Rocket Ride and Larger Than Life over and over and over. That's probably why they're both here. Because we would drive around, being crazy, doing teenage things, listening to those songs, singing along to them over and over. And it only played those 2 songs. It was just one of those weird things. So I've heard that song 1.5 million times. We'd sing along to it. And I just love the whole energy and of that song. It's just, I've always loved it. Larger Than Life.
And I feel bad
The
because
lyrics are very introspective on that.
They are, yes. I didn't even think about those songs on that album, the studio tracks. Damn it. I want to redo my list now.
Yeah, so ever since I was a teenager, that's been my song. Except for one other one, it's always been my favorite.
Okay. All right. My number 2 is going to be Strange Ways off Hotter Than Hell. Love that one. It's such a bottom heavy riff, sludgy, almost like tribal drumming on this track.
Mm-hmm.
Unusual for a Kiss song. It's got a great Peter vocal. I've always been in love with this track. I think it's fantastic. One of the standouts from Hotter Than Hell. Yeah, production could be a little better, but I love it.
My favorite guitar solo from Ace is on that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The production never bothered me on that album. I don't know. I mean, I can kind of hear what you're saying, but I don't know. It didn't really bother me. I kind of like the dirtiness of it.
I mean, it's a fantastic album, and the songs are so good that they probably could have recorded it in the backseat of a Chevy Nova, and I still would like that album.
I think they did, actually.
They might have. But the first 3 albums, there's not a bad song.
No.
My number 1, I guess, and Cold Gin on the first album. Absolutely love it. What I love about it is that it's probably a true story. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that Ace Frehley requires alcohol to get through the days up until recently. I know he's been sober for about 20 years. But it's a fantastic song, and I love that. When the other day it came on the radio, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I cranked it so loud. And when he goes to that, the cheapest stuff is all I need. It's like, yeah, it's just killer. I love it, and I'll be playing it again later. So it's awesome.
Great tune.
Love that breakdown. Ace was actually 16 when he wrote that, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Thinking about all that young.
Well, my number one is off of Unmasked. It's Shandy. No, I'm just kidding.
You stole my joke.
Mine too.
No, my number one, and I was surprised that Josh didn't have this higher. My number one is I Stole Your Love. It's just a killer song. Love it, love it, love it. And again, this is my favorite Kiss album. So off this album, I pulled Love Gun, Almost Human, and I Stole Your Love. I mean, but I think Aaron said Shock Me. I wanted to put Christine 16 on here too. That's a great freaking song. Plaster Caster. I mean, who sings a song about getting there? You know what? Putting plaster.
Gene Simmons.
Yeah. I wonder what this song is about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I Stole Your Love.
Well, it's so out of character for Gene too. I mean, he's so mild mannered. He's so unassuming.
He's modest too.
Ever, peg him to be.
Right.
Do you think someone could get away with Christine 16 today?
No.
Like
No.
No.
Well,
Maybe
yeah. And do you think somebody could get away with Scorpion's Virgin Killer cover?
No.
Or Hey Little Tomboy from the
Oh
Beach-
yeah, Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, that's creepy because on that bootleg I have an early version of Hey Little Tomboy where they're going back and forth with each other. They're like, oh, we think you should shave your legs and all this. It is a creepy song. For anybody out there who.
Yeah, no, agreed. All right, your number one Beach Boys, Aaron.
No, it isn't. I was gonna do that the whole time, then you kind of got it.
Off of Sunflower?
I was gonna go Odyssey just because my Alamare name comes from a stupid thing I thought that they said Sten the Stallion and Alamare, but no, it's Strutter. Always one of my favorite Kiss songs.
Love it.
It's just I don't know why. I just have always loved it. It's a simple riff and a simple song, but it's just how it's sung and the energy in it, and it's just Strutter's always been my favorite Kiss song, and Larger Than Life number. Like,
Well, it's Kiss right away, right? In the intro, you're like, yeah, this is Kiss.
I know it's not the most intricate song, but it's just the energy it has. And every time I hear it, it makes me happy. It pumps me up, gives me energy, and I love it.
The version on Double Platinum is good too.
Yeah, they're both good.
They're both good.
And the live version, of course.
Yeah, the live version. Kill it.
Can't beat the live one. So.
All right, my number one, Just a Boy from. Oh no!
I don't know if I really like his vocals on that song though.
I do.
You do? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm a huge.
Now, if you said The Oath, I would have been like, okay.
Well, and I feel bad
Obviously,
because
Just a Boy. I like all of it.
I like The Elder, and I was like going through my list. Only You almost made my list. Dark Light almost made it, but
Mr. Black.
too many tracks over. So anyway, Black Diamond.
It's my number 11.
Here. I know we've already talked about it, so I don't want to belabor it, but yeah, love that track. It's such one of the best album closers ever, and it's my number one.
Well, I just want to prove how cool I am too, because I said I only had 2 Kiss records, but you just reminded me, Jeff, I do have The Elder on vinyl as well.
All right.
Nice.
So I'm a real Kiss fan, gosh darn it.
You are.
We have no doubt that you
Hold
are.
on. I mean, this street cred.
Chris, if I ever find Crazy Nights, it's got your name all over it. I promise you.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
I have a picture.
I might pull a Ron Haggerty and buy it before you send it to me, though.
Okay. Try not to do that.
I couldn't believe that. I said to him, I'm like, all right, I'm going to send you something from the SST Superstore. What does he do? Like 2 days later, he goes out and buys an SST album. I'm serious? You knew I was going to probably send you a Black Flag album.
Who else almost made the list was I'm a Legend Tonight from this.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Killers at all. I mean,
I love all 4 of those songs. Those 4.
Well, that looks like a German version or something because
It is. That's the only. It was only pressed in Germany.
Yeah.
Originally.
Yeah.
My favorite lineup of Kiss.
I don't think Paul looks good with the headband, though.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
borrowed
Gene-
it from Mark Knopfler.
But I love that lineup.
I think Gene was trying to look like Cher in that.
Or Diana Ross. Who was he dating
Right.
back then? Yeah, I don't know. Well, we've each lost a handful, a considerable number of subscribers during the course of this video. So, I apologize to all of you. Chris, you were over 1,000. Now you're probably around 920.
Yeah.
I am probably back down to 180.
We were out of control tonight. I apologize.
Yeah, but I don't know. Hopefully people understand that, it's the end of the work week and we're just trying to, those of us who have hair, we're letting it down and just having some fun with it. Kiss is such a great band and, we're all taking a little bit liberties, but yeah.
Street cred, kids. Stock Kiss.
Oh, it looks like a ticket stub there.
Nassau Coliseum, November 27th, 1998. There you go.
I'm gonna sneak another one in. You Love Me to Hate You.
Oh, yeah, that's
I love that song. That almost made my list. It was on there at one point and just missed out.
Did we each say what our favorite Kiss album is? I know I went on record as saying Dynasty. Chris, Love Gun.
Love Gun.
Aaron, what's your favorite?
I picked the first one, but it's like all of them. I like it. I love every one of them. It's really hard for me to pick a favorite album, but on Chris's video, I picked the first one.
Okay.
And my
how about
favorite Kiss album is In Rock.
It's got my favorite song on there, so,
Yeah.
and, Deuce, all those songs. It's just
My
great.
favorite is the first one. But it'd be hard to vote for my favorite non-makeup album. That would be the most difficult because there's so many different ones. Asylum would be up there, but like Chris said, I love Crazy Nights. I love Hot and Shade. Hot and Shade's too bloated. I love Revenge.
I don't.
Yeah, I agree with you, Josh. I think Hot in the Shade should have been trimmed a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd trim out of it though. I love every song.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
It just seems a little too
Caesar,
long.
but that's Eric's only song he sings, so I don't know.
Did they
Like I
have
said,
Did they have B-sides on that album, or?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
They
But that
should've
was a
used-
CD age. They just put everything possible on the vinyl.
Yeah.
I like Boomerang a lot too.
I mean, I think it's a great album. Plus, it was, like I said, it was like right in the honey spot for me. I was, that album came out, I was probably like 14 years old. So Kiss was everything.
I'm surprised
Another
nobody
one.
put Forever on there.
Or Hide Your Heart. I mean, Hide Your Heart.
Hide Your Heart is great. That almost made it.
Love it.
Yeah, and Ace Frehley does a cover of that. That's really good.
Yeah.
He does it on
Well, they came
Trouble
out
Walking.
at the same time, almost the same, like a month apart.
Yeah.
And they didn't know each other were going to do it. And then it came out. Gene tried to get Ace to not put it on his record, and he did anyway, and caused some friction. And the drumming on Forever is the best drumming of any slow song of all time. Focus on the drumming on that. It's just Eric Carr's a beast on it. You don't really know.
Here's some Kiss trivia. Do any of you know who co-wrote Forever with Paul Stanley?
Yeah,
Michael
Bolton.
Okay, wow, you guys are real Kiss fans.
Sorry.
I have the cassette single of that. I can go try to find it.
Wait, isn't this what Metallica did this on the back of their Injustice for All album? They were wearing glasses like
They're
that.
gonna kill me, but
They did.
Oh, the cassette singles are being pulled out. We are really losing subscribers.
Yeah. Well,
No, I don't think anybody's even watching by this point.
no, when you start whipping out the singles,
yeah, I can't help it. I can't help
Yeah.
myself.
Japanese 45s and
yeah. Well, thank you everybody for watching. That's our Kiss top 15, each of us. And hopefully, if you have your own top 10, leave it in the comment section and don't judge us too harshly for our behavior during this video. But we did our best. And thank you everybody for participating and joining in. And next week we will try to get together a little better. That's all I can promise.
I'm not going to promise anything.
All right.